Meghan Markle here.
Today is February 24, 2026. It is 4:18 a.m. This is like video number 3. So let's go on X. A lot to share with you. So this is the first tweet. 1988 documentary on the trouble the modeling and talent agency brings, especially to young women and children. 38 years ago, and nothing has changed. All right, this is a minute and 26 seconds.
I think everybody knows this about Jean-Luc Brunel.
Oh, yes. A lot of people know that. A lot of people.
They continue to deal with him.
Everyone continues to deal with it. I don't know why.
We played a tape of the second girl's story of drugs and rape to Eileen Ford.
I don't know what to tell you. That's horrible.
And this is the first time you've ever heard one of these stories.
Absolutely.
Because we have talked to 5 other girls who say that they have had drugs put in their drink
Oh my God.
by Jean-Luc or Jean-Luc's friends.
I hope you're wrong. And for his sake, I hope you're wrong.
Eileen Ford says she's sure Jean-Luc has used drugs, and she even warned him about it.
I have certainly asked him never to have drugs around in front of my models.
That's all you've ever said to him.
Well, that's a pretty fair warning.
But were you ever told about this and ever raised it with him?
The drugs? You mean being doped up and put to bed?
Getting girls drugged up
No.
and in the bed with him or his friends?
No.
Have girls ever come back and complained to you that he took them to parties with people who dealt in drugs?
No.
So
These people are sick.
Think of
Sick. There's more. This one is 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Screenshot, okay? Part 7.
the largest and most prestigious agencies in the country. His name is Jean-Luc Brunel. The girls told us Brunel is very careful about the models who are under the protection of Eileen Ford.
Okay, there was a video that I did maybe 2 or 3 years ago when they they arrest him while he was trying to run to go to a country that didn't have extradition, and then they caught him, and I think that he was put in jail. I think he committed suicide. Let me pause and look. What's his name? Something Brunel. Right, I googled it, but it didn't give me the answer. But there's some articles about it. I said, what happened to Jean-Luc Brunel, model agency guy? Okay, model agency Jean-Luc Brunel was being investigated for rape and supplying girls to Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. Jean-Luc Brunel, Epstein associate, found dead in Paris. Okay, so he's dead. All right, let's continue with that.
But Courtney and Sherry, who are not Ford models, told us about the dinners he invites his other girls to attend with his male friends.
It's a meat market. You are there for the purpose of somebody wanting to take you home to bed. He is acting as a matchmaker. He's got the agency. He's got the girls. His friends say, oh, Jean-Luc, I'd like to meet some girls, or we're having a party tonight. Can you bring some girls?
And what happens if you say no?
You don't work.
And you've actually known, be very careful on this, you actually have known that he has made someone pay a professional penalty for saying no.
I know. I paid a penalty for saying no. I was personally proposed to by himself, Jean-Luc, and I said, no way. I laughed in his face, and I had no more appointments, and I never worked.
What about the fact that people say when you come over here, you've come over knowing what you're getting into? I mean, everyone knows.
How can you know what you're getting into? How can you know what you're getting into? This is like a foreign country. You know, I mean, I'm from Florida, little city, Pompano Beach. You know, I mean, come on. How am I going to know what goes on in Paris, you know, or Milan? I mean, I don't even speak the language. I don't know anyone. You know, I'm in a new environment. You know, I don't know anyone. I have to trust the people that I come over here with. I mean, I'm naive. I'm young.
A lot of these bigwigs at the agencies literally have a scale where in this hand they have your career and in this hand they have what they want. And your career can go up if they get what they want. If they don't get it, your career goes down.
Well, at least when she said no, she left with her dignity. Where's that guy? I think he was the one who was being him. Was that the one who was being in the deposition when the lawyer next to him said to stop saying, "or else I'm effing killing you"? All right. So these are the comments. Let's go to the next tweet. Unbelievable. Okay, was that Sharon Stone? Really bad acting on her part. She knew everything. OMG, Eileen Ford was such a terrible liar. Couldn't be more obvious. She was utterly complicit and aware her models were being SAD, sexual abuse. All right, let's go to the next tweet. It's unbelievable. This is the thing. Some women are allowing this thing to happen. They are complicit, similar to Maxwell. All right, so there's that here. Jeffrey Epstein's brother hangs up during interview while refusing to offer sympathy to victims. Quote, unfortunately, I really don't care, to be honest with you. I'm just concerned my brother, whoever and whatever he was murdered. That's my concern. Well, at least he's telling the truth. All right? At least he's telling the truth. So at least you know how to treat him the next time he's in front of you. Sometimes the truth hurt. He doesn't care about the women.
What is life for you like as the brother of perhaps the most notorious person in America?
Well, my life is fine. I'm just getting a lot more calls from journalists and ask for, these kind of interviews. And I've told people I only talk about Jeffrey's death because I found that when I answer questions about anything else in the files, whatever I say gets misconstrued to fit somebody's agenda. So I no longer answer questions about the things in the files, which I really, to be honest, don't care about. I wasn't part of any of that. I'm not named in anything. And, and if anyone's in the files or something that's supposed to be getting into trouble for something, I have nothing to do with that. That's their problem, not mine. I don't want to be cold about it, but I have my own life. Look, trust me, it would have been a lot easier for me if I thought Jeffrey committed suicide. I could have then, mourned my brother and went on with my life. But instead, I'm
right, but when you say, yeah, sure, but when you say you don't care about the files, I mean, I presume you mean because you're not directly accused of wrongdoing in them, which is completely correct, and you shouldn't have to justify something that doesn't involve you. However, your brother is obviously, there's so much stuff in these files which exposes him as an appalling human being. My question for you would be, how much of this is new to you? I mean, do you even recognize
like I said,
what you're seeing from your brother?
Jeffrey and I were not. I didn't see him for 7 years before he died. Although we were always in communication with phones and emails, so I didn't know what he was up to. A lot of the stuff that's come out is surprising to me. I wasn't aware of a lot of this stuff. And I'm going to say, like with him, even though he's my brother, that was his problem. And now that he's dead, it's not his problem anymore. So again, unfortunately, I really don't care, to be honest with you. I'm just concerned that my brother, whoever and whatever he was murdered. That's my concern.
But you care about the victims, I presume, of your brother.
These are the questions I don't get into. Have a good day.
Well,
okay.
At least you tell the truth.
Extraordinary. Not a difficult question to answer.
Well, Piers Morgan, who's trying to be somewhat sensible or anything like that, but whatever. I don't think Epstein is dead. There was a video that was going around. Even Maxwell, I don't even think she's in jail. Next tweet. Oh, there's him again. This one is shorter. Rep. Nancy Mace says the current Department of Justice has shut down all investigation into Epstein and will not pursue any future arrests. She says the main reason is that Epstein was an intelligent asset. Quote, I have no confidence in our justice system. 46 seconds.
Do you think there will be arrests in America?
No, I don't. I have no confidence in our justice system. I think it's a system of injustice. I think the way that these victims and others get justice are seeing people, if they're not going to go to jail, be removed from boards, be publicly shamed out of civil society, lose their companies. You're starting to see some of that. The dominoes are falling, but they're not falling fast enough. And that's why I'm really intent on getting all the files out there. And I don't believe there's any more investigation. There are not going to be any more indictments because I believe Epstein was an intel asset, maybe of one or multiple nations. And that's why our country protected him and the information and videos and audio that he had on other world leaders. But until people go to jail, people want justice. And that's the only way we're going to get it right now.
Do you think there will be arrests in America?
Okay, it's playing again. But when you think about it, okay, you put a person who was key part of that ring to hold the key to the Justice Department. Do you think he's gonna do any investigation when he already knows he's really involved? And this is why was it this video or another video that I did tonight? Like in Texas, they're removing people from the voting list or things like that. They don't want people to vote. They want to hold the key. And they want to normalize that behavior. And then the last election, women who went and vote for this guy, Trump, he's holding the key to everything. So you could understand nothing is going to happen. If now that we know there's more information out there, now that we know, you are more clearer of information of his behavior. When he said he wanted to drain the swamp, he was the freaking swamp. You telling the swamp guy to go hold the key to the drain. You think he's gonna drain it? I mean, we have to think logically. We don't, regular minded people don't like it, don't like what's going on. But you have to understand logic. He's holding the key to his own demise. You think he's going to demise himself? Okay, this is part of that. I believe the rage among the people is growing. I think so too.
Could it be that Jeffrey Epstein just had a completely different life that he just did not tell you about? And it may also have included being a spy. I mean, clearly.
Telling me that he worked for the Mossad would have given him a get out of jail free card. I could have gotten him no jail time. If he had told me he worked for the Mossad, for the CIA, it would have been a slam dunk for me to go to whoever I had to go to, even up to the President of the United States, and I would have gotten him a deal with no time at all.
What's his name again? I think he was the one who wrote the agreement. I forgot his name. Okay. Who wrote the agreement between Epstein and Virginia Giuffre? I think it was him. Let me pause and go look. Once I see the name, I will remember. But right now, on top of my head, I don't remember his name. I don't know. I can't find it. The thing is not giving me the response. I can't remember his name. I think he's... you know what? Forget what I was saying, because I can't find what I was looking for.
Oh, hang on a second. You mean if he said he was working with the Mossad or CIA, then he would get off being a pedophile?
That's right.
Let's leave that alone. Let's go to the next tweet. There's another video that I need to do that has to do with the left behinders. All right, I have like 3 more for this video. All right, so we are here in the US now. Lieu, are there photos of Trump with girls of uncertain age? Patel, no. Lieu, how do you know? Patel, it will have been brought to light. Lieu, that's not true because no one knew about the creepy birthday message until the Wall Street Journal disclosed it. All right, let's listen. If Democrat wins the election, the House, the Senate, and things like that, they're done. They're gonna go to jail. Right now, they are the MAGAs, the Trumps are on the last string because they got them.
In general question, as you know, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were friends. There are, of course, photos showing Donald Trump together with Epstein, correct?
I don't have the entirety of the photographs, but I think they've been photographed in public together.
All right. Are there any photos showing Donald Trump with girls of an uncertain age?
No.
How do you know that?
because that information would have been brought to light by multiple administrations and FBI investigators over the course of the last 20 years.
Well, you know what? That's just not true, because no one knew about the creepy birthday message that Donald Trump wrote to Jeffrey Epstein until the Wall Street Journal disclosed it, and then all of a sudden, the Epstein estate provides it to Congress.
Well,
certainly, you weren't there at the search. You don't know what Epstein may or may not have done with those photographs even prior to the search. Maybe someone has it. Maybe the Epstein estate has it.
You raise a great point.
So I'm going to ask you, have you asked to talk to Michael Wolff?
You raise a great point. I haven't personally asked to talk to Michael
Has the FBI asked?
But the FBI, I'll get back to you if the FBI specifically
So Michael has
ever.
about 100 hours of testimony of Jeffrey Epstein. Wouldn't it be good for the FBI to interview Michael Wolff?
I'm not saying they haven't. I just don't know.
Has FBI subpoenaed the tapes that Michael Wolff has conducted of Jeffrey Epstein?
I don't know.
All right. So if you could provide us an answer, that would be terrific.
Sure.
Let's leave that alone. There's more stuff. Oh God. There's the guy who the lawyer will say, says, if you answer something, I effing kill you. Let's listen to this.
And personal work for the Rothschild family in France. Well, specifically, I talked to Elie de Rothschild, and so I mentioned that earlier. So he represented their whole family. So there have been a whole bunch of people. Most of them I never would have met, but I knew Elie. He would say, like, I'm providing financial advice to the founders of Google. I'm providing financial advice to Jeff Bezos. Answer the question. Okay. Done personal work.
It's playing over. All right. Let me show you what he said again. Just read the caption. I probably will enlarge it.
Answer the question. 5 words, okay. Answer the question. Okay. Done personal work.
Let's go to the next tweet. Unbelievable. TikTok video. All right. This gentleman nailed it. What's so effing pathetic about FBI Director Kash Patel and America's pedophile president? To prop themselves up, these corrupt and incompetent losers are constantly riding the coattail of America's winners. Bullseye. Let's listen. It's 2 minutes and 42 seconds.
Watching Kash Patel party with the U.S. men's hockey team in the locker room after they won the gold is one of the most pathetic things I have ever seen. What is so pathetic about Patel and what is so indicative of the entire Trump administration is trying to ride on other people's coattails, trying to have an experience which you didn't generate but want to have as your own. It's not just that he's in the locker room with them as the head of the FBI. It's not just that he used taxpayer money to act as a hype man at a sports event when he's not an ambassador or a secretary of state, but he's supposed to be running the Federal Bureau of Investigation, doing serious things. It's not just that the main news story on those networks trying to cover up Epstein is Nancy Guthrie, and that investigation is ongoing and needs a leader. And if you've ever watched The Fugitive, you know it matters to have a leader who's actually helped guide. It's not the fact that the very day that he's there in Italy so he can drink with a bunch of kids, that the cartels in Mexico are almost going to all-out war with the Mexican government. The same cartels which are sending the fentanyl into the United States. In other words, it's a pretty big deal when the cartels are activated through their entire system into a sort of warfare, either to protect American assets or to move where they may be vulnerable. He should be in the room doing his job, but he's not. He is over there trying to welch off somebody else's hard work. He's hanging out with a bunch of 20-year-olds, if that, who are incredible athletes, incredibly dedicated, who did an incredible thing by winning a gold medal. He's not just there to congratulate them or as a proxy for the United States government. He's there because he wants to be one of them. He is acting like he won something. As somebody who's accomplished some goals in life and failed at others, I think that is so pathetic. To think that you can behave exactly as someone who did the work and the winning and that it's your experience, you get to feel like you won a gold? It's not the same thing as being a fan or being there as a representative. That is stunted, pathetic. I cannot get over how far off course the United States government has got, but good God, we are never going back to what brought us here. It is time for real leadership when this is done.
Well, I didn't watch any of these. Oh, Trump happened that. Oh, I remember that. But anyway, that's all they want. But they will not provide the fund that will help these guys to train to. You know what? Let me not say anything. Next tweet. New ICE cover-up exposed. An ICE whistleblower says leadership ran a secret playbook to get agents to violate the Constitution and hide it on purpose. No official memo, no paper trail, no records. Agents were shown the orders privately and told not to document anything. Why? So leadership could deny it later. Now it looks like acting director Todd Leon may have misled Congress. All right, so let's listen to this. It's almost a minute.
Through the memo that acting director Lyons, or rather in September, the memo dates from May, and it was used for hundreds of agents who now are on the streets and in our neighborhoods.
Nowhere on this memo is there anything that would let you know that this is an official policy of the agency. And to my knowledge, it's never been disseminated as one. It's been handed out piecemeal to people to use when the agency thinks they need to.
Which directly undercuts the veracity of acting director Lyons' testimony under oath before a congressional committee.
The memo was shown to me by my supervisor at Glencoe. It was given to me in person with instructions that I could read it, but not take any notes on it. That I could read it in their presence, and that was it. And that I was going to teach from it, but I couldn't keep a copy of it to reference.
Through the memo that acting director Lyons,
Explain.
or rather in September, the memo dates from May.
Okay. So when we see ICE doing their things and things like that, I mean, these people, those ICE agents on the street violating the Constitution, violating people's rights and all of that, they don't know at the end of the day if Trump doesn't win again or one of the GOPs win again, they are cooked. All right, so I'm glad this guy went on the record to let the public know what's going on. There's some images I cannot share. All right, so this is my last one for this video. Anthony Scaramucci has a theory about Trump and says that he will rather watch the Republican Party burn to the ground than let it succeed without him. He said that the majority of the people in the White House can't stand him, but are scared of defying him. All right. Again, that's Scaramucci guy. Let me go look for his. I think at Trump's first presidency, he was working for him. And this is the thing, when people don't see the wrong, the ethical things from the very first presidency. You saw the wrong within the guy, but yet you associate yourself with him. It's unbelievable. Okay, so that's him. I think he's from New York. All right, so let's listen to that. 2 minutes and 51 seconds.
What if I told you that Donald Trump would rather watch the Republican Party burn to the ground than see it succeed without him? And he might not even be alive to watch it burn. Stick with me here. Remember Anthony Scaramucci, the guy that Trump hired and fired in 11 days, who worked inside the operation? He has a theory that explains everything we're seeing right now. Scaramucci says that Donald Trump doesn't actually like J.D. Vance. Honestly, he doesn't really like anyone. And the part that should scare every Republican strategist in Washington is that Trump would rather see the Democrats annihilate MAGA in 2028 than watch anyone else take credit for his movement. Trump will be 80 in June of this year. Although speculative, he's struggling with dementia, falling asleep in public, slurring his words, and making bizarre slip-ups. But think about what that means for everyone hanging on to his coattails. The theory is that Trump is so pathologically narcissistic, so deeply insecure behind all that bluster, that his ego cannot tolerate the idea of the party moving on without him. Even if he's not here to see it, he needs to be the star. He needs to be the reason. His ideal scenario, if he's still breathing, is to step back and let someone like Gavin Newsom wipe the floor with whoever is his successor, and then spend whatever time he has left being like, see, they were nothing before me and they will be nothing after me. It explains why he's dropped longtime allies like Marjorie Taylor Greene without a second thought. It explains why he won't fully embrace Vance. It explains why he was a Democrat, then a Libertarian, and now a Republican, because there is no ideology. It's just whatever fits his brand in the moment. Listen to this quote from Scaramucci. Anybody who thinks the party likes him doesn't understand the party. If you're inside Trump's inner orbit, you hate the guy's guts. He knows that, you know that, but there's a dance because you're afraid of him. The White House is currently scrambling to rein in Trump's pardons. Chief of Staff Susie Wiles is literally blocking access to him because the process has devolved into chaos. A close insider has said, there is no process, there is no right way to do this, it's just chaos. Trump has issued around 1,700 pardons since the beginning of his second term. January 6 rioters, crypto moguls with close ties to his family, people he doesn't even remember pardoning, like that Binance founder that he admitted who he has no idea who he is. Question that should keep his entire cabinet up at night. What happens when he's no longer coherent enough to...
Because I think they find out there was some cheating going on in the last election. Things are coming out. So I think when the next presidency, if he lost, well, not if he lost, this is his second term, he's done with. But to avoid any Republican to get back in office to the presidency. So Trump is done. He can't run no more. That's it. Is to revoke all those pardons because he got in office the wrong way if he did lose the election. But let's continue.
Sign pardons, or when he's gone entirely. Those people are counting on his loyalty. They're banking their entire futures, their freedom, on a man who can't remember what he had for breakfast and has spent his entire life discarding people the moment they are no longer useful to him. He has done that his whole life. Business partners, lawyers, wives, and staff. Why would this cabinet be any different? The man who built his brand on "you're fired" is not going to suddenly become a loyal friend on his way out, especially when he might not even be with it enough to hold the pen. He would rather watch it all burn than share the spotlight. The media is not going to tell you that the emperor has no clothes, and everyone around him is about to find out the hard way that there are no guarantees. Only a man with a failing brain and an ego that demands the whole stage burns behind him.
And not only that, Trump doesn't care about anything. And the other thing is that the people who want the America to be destroyed, make sure he's the one to do it, and he's gonna destroy as much as he can, and they're gonna put the blame on him. And once they're done with him, they're done with him. All right, so there's all of that. So I'm done with this video. The next video that I'm gonna do, we're gonna start with this tweet. Okay, so we're gonna start with that. All right, so please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. So this one just went public. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
known for all my life.
You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.